Okay, so today we are going to be talking about every book that I have not read that I own. Oh, why am I doing this? It's a good question. I'll probably be asking myself again at the end of this video. I am shutting down my P.O. box because despite how incredibly, wonderfully, beautifully generous you guys are, I've gotten to the point now where I've legitimately run out of room and there's no more space to put books. So I love your generosity. I love you guys so much, but I have to cut it off eventually. So along with that, I've also switched to a mood reader recently, which we've talked about ad nauseum. I used to be able to just pick up any old book, any old time, and I could read it. It wasn't a big deal for me. But now I get in moods for certain genres or certain types of books, and that's what I want to pick up. And sometimes it's a genre that I read often, and sometimes it's a genre that I hardly ever read. So I really need to change how I'm keeping my books. And now I need to categorize them all by genre and then have shelves for genres so that I can be a more effective mood reader. So if I'm ever going to do a video like this, now's the time. Thankfully, Corey agreed to edit it, so most of the work is going to be on him. So I will say before we get into it, there are going to be timestamps in the description of this video, so if there are only certain genres you're interested in, you can skip around, you can hop around the video to make it more accessible and easy for you. Also, there are some categories that I'm going to have here that don't actually make sense, like I'm going to have a middle grade category, which is not a genre, it's an age group, but I don't read very much middle grade, so it works for me to be able to pull from a middle grade shelf when I do want to do that. There's going to be a classics shelf. Classics isn't a genre, it's a category. Those books technically should be spread across shelves, but there are just times when I'm super excited to pick up classics. Editing Merphy here, I actually, after I sorted through all these books, didn't even end up keeping the classic shelf consistent because I ended up putting most of my classic fantasy and classic sci-fi in the fantasy and sci-fi genres, but the other classics remained on the classic shelf. So I'm inconsistent all around, but this is what I think is gonna work for me. Self-published books are going to be in their own category. They obviously deserve their own genres, but I try to be really intentional with picking up at least one self-pub book a month so that I'm supporting self-pub authors as well. They're going to have their own categories so that I can make sure that I'm continuing to be intentional about that. So some of these categories aren't genre exclusive. They are tailored to me, but hopefully you'll still be able to find what you want. Also, because I haven't read any of these books, I'm not 1000% positive that they're all in the correct category. So if you see a book in the wrong category, you've read it and you know that's not what that book is, please let me know in the comments and I will put it on the appropriate shelf. All right, that's a long enough intro. Here's a whole bunch of books I haven't read yet. And we're starting off with the books that are on the top of my TBR, the books that I'm the most excited to read right now. That doesn't mean that they're the books that I'm going to read next because what interests me right now might change, but as of right now, these are the books that I've pulled that I'm the most excited about. Foundation, The Poppy War, The Good Thief, The Children of Huron, The Magicians, Mapping the Interior, Clap When You Land, Descender, The Mothers, Atomic Love, The Ember Blade, The Sleeper and the Spindle, Crier's War, The Gilded Wolves, Best Served Cold, The Rise of Kyoshi, The Shadow of Kyoshi, The Deal of a Lifetime, Shogun, 11/22/63. Fantasy. The Belgrade, The Winter King, Witchfire, Stormfront, Hyperion, Soulless, The Outstretched Shadow, Half-Blood, Peter Pan in Scarlet, Royal Assassin, Silverthorn, Green Rider, Poison, Shardik, Gilded Cage, The Amber Spyglass, American Gods, Wicked, The Curse of Chalion, Night Watch, A Midsummer Tempest, Nice Dragons Finish Last, Maladon, Magician, Ancient Magic, Dungeon Lord, Traitor's Blade, The Two Swords, Daughter of the Forest, Dragonwing, The Warrior's Apprentice, In Other Lands, Old Magic, Darkness at Sethanon, Witch Week, Peter and the Starcatchers, Arcanum Unbound, Acorna, Not Before Sundown, Riddle Master, The Mist of Avalon, The Sword of Shannara, Poison Study, The Rhythmatist, Team Human, The Inheritance Trilogy, The Night Circus, Dodger, Beyond the Shadowed Earth, Lost Gods, The Child Thief, The Black Tides of Heaven, The Bard's Blade, Come Tumbling Down, Good Omens, The Color of Magic, Etiquette Espionage, The Light Fantastic, Dance of Thieves, Heir Apparent, Darker Days, Hounded, The Shamer's Daughter, The Legend of Eli Monpress, War of the Oaks, Magic Kingdom, Lost Girl, The Atlas of Dreams, The 10,000 Doors of January, Light Magic, The Quinnox, The Red Wolf Conspiracy, The Riara Revelations, The Talisman, Blood Gospel, The Walking Drum, A Morbid Taste of Bones, Imaro, The Warrior's Heir, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Sabriel, The City of Dreaming Books, A Spell for Chameleon, The Invisible Library, Daughter of the Forest, Game Board of the Gods, Soulless, Kushiel's Dart, Ship of Magic, Magic Bites, Age of Assassins, The Black Jewels Trilogy, Black Leopard Red Wolf, Divided Allegiance, His Majesty's Dragon, Wild Seed, The Constant Princess, Undead and Unwed, Hunter, Ultraviolet, The Castle of Kings, Cinderella is Dead, Oath of Gold, Sleep Farmer's Daughter. And now, nonfiction. The Boy Who Saw in Colors, Cleopatra, Shadow Divers, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Locke, The Big U, Will You Love Me, War Doctor, The Shipwreck Hunter, A Prayer for Owen Meany, Born a Crime, A Case for Solomon, I Will Find You, Lives Other Than My Own. I cannot pronounce this one, and I'm so sorry. Mistakes Were Made, But Not By Me, From Rufio to Zuko, Hiroshima, Sadako and the Thousand Paper Cranes. Middlegrade, Keeper of the Lost Cities, Gregor and the Prophecy of Bane and Gregor the Ollivander, Stardust, The Truth as Told by Madison Buttle, Witch, Molly Moon's Incredible Book of Hypnotism, The Space We're In, Cirque du Freak, The Name of This Book is Secret, On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness, Dealing with Dragons, Walk 2 Moons, Stuart Little, The Witches, James and the Giant Peach, From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler, Life as We Knew It, Dragon Spell, Princess Academy, Going Solo, Heroine Complex, The Ruby in the Smoke, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Matilda, The Bone Clocks, The Music of Dolphins, The Starlight Watchmaker, Jip and Jackine, Book Simulator, The Reader's Guide to Not Reading, Horton's Miraculous Mechanisms, The 6-Day Hero, Seed Folks, Nevermore, Castaways of the Flying Dutchman, Momuland Winter, The Goose Girl, Romance, Love in the Time of Cholera, All Roads Lead to Austin, Mr. HOA, Morning Glory, Poldark, Rosie Dunn, Drops of Gold, Courting Miss Lancaster, An Unsuitable Woman, Sophia Khan Is Not Obligated, The Game of Love and Death, Love and Luck, Friends and Foes. Historical fiction. The Refuge, 1632, Bridge of Clay, The Pillars of Earth, Memoirs of a Geisha, All the Light We Cannot See, A Witch in Time, Fingersmith, Unbroken, The Great Alone, Revolution, The Churchill Secretary, Leviathan, The Fire Horse Girl, The Air Affair, The Pecan Man, The Clan of the Cave Bear, My Lady Jane, Fall of Giants, Yellow Star, literary fiction. Infinite Jest, The How and the Why, Tuck Everlasting, Fahrenheit 451, The Kitchen God's Wife, Please Stop Laughing at Me, The Ables, Blindness, Aunt Julia and the Scriptwriter, Out of My Mind, Speak, science fiction. A Natural History of Dragons, Metal Chest. The Future is Female, The Gods Themselves, The Ship Who Sang, Aiko, This Is How You Lose the Time War, Flowers for Algernon, Sphere, The Wild Shore, Ballistic, The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, The Peace War, The Boat of a Million Years, Spin, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Hammered, In Conquest Born, Lock In, Crocodile on the Sandbank, The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Opuchi Hotline, The Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps, Blindness, Rendezvous with Rama, World of Patevs, I have a hard time reading that font, The Disposed, The Forever War, Horror, The Hypnotist, The Ruins, Alice, Rose Madder, Dolores Californ, I have a hard time with this font too, Thrillers, Home Before Dark, A is for Alibi, The Last Flight, The Better Liar, Intensity, Classics, Saddleton Lady Susan and the History of England, Goblin Market and Other Poems, Poe, To Reign in Hell, The Private Memoirs and Confessions of a Justified Sinner, Chess Story, The Lady of Camillas, My Cousin Rachel, Till We Have Faces, Animal Farm and 1984, The Tie-In, The Metamorphosis, The Three Musketeers, Dombey and Son, The Lost World and Other Stories, Evelina, Out of the Silent Planet, The Italian, Watership Down, The Mysteries of Udolpho, The Collected Stories of Joseph Roth, Afterward, The 12 Terrors of Christmas, A Child's Christmas in Wales, The Apple Tree, The Singleman. Mystery, The Night Swim, Patron Saints of Nothing, Something Wicked Comes This Way, The Air Affair, The Moving Finger, Death on the Nile, Some Danger Involved, A Curious Beginning, Alex, Time to Kill, Kiss the Girls, Along Came a Spider, The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, The Westing Game, Perfume, and The Shadows, which I've lost the dust cover of. Mangas, comics, and graphic novels. Pandora Hearts, Monster, Attack on Titan, Rurokuni Kishin, I'm having a hard time with this font, The Promised Neverland, Yotsuba, Ascendance of a Bookworm, a whole bunch of Avatar stuff, a whole bunch of Sandman stuff, Assassination Classroom, The Prince and the Dressmaker, Yutsumaki, Paper Girls, The Wicked and the Divine, Chew, Black Magic, Saga, Manifest Destiny, Batman, Haunted Night, Echo, Saga, Batman, The Long Halloween, Crosswind, Superman, Batman Year One, and Superman Red Sun. Self-published books. Santa Olivia, Night 8 Awakens, Quill Skylark Bounty Hunter, Venom, Nightmare Arcanist, Behold the Eye, Unsold, Serial Cortex, Drawn to Flame, Once Lost Always, Cursed at Birth, Operation Stargate Freedom, The Barter of Secrets, Don't Drift Off, For Heathens of Heaven, Us versus the World, The Sons of Mercy, Empty Space, Sundiver, James Clyde and the Tomb of Salvation, War of the Twin Swords, The Mirror Hunter Chronicles, Heart of Dust, 15 Minutes in the Sun, Resolver, Tome, More Than Evil, Vancor, I Am King, The Long Nights, The Grey War Saga, The Gathering, The Neverain War, The Sword of the Princess, Krabat, Songbird at Midnight, My Ladybird Story, Mr. Nobody, Moonful of Love, The City Below the Cloud, Amaryllis, Xandra Yorshines and the Plaza Wand, Revelations, The Songstress, Tainted Truth, Chromosmica, Siren Suicides, Symmetry, Believe the Koozie, Paint, A Recollection of Uncertain Memories, Secrets of the Runestones, Starland, The Retirement Plan, Spectra, The First Seal, The Kalda Prophecies, The Ornan, The Cardorian Complex, Afterborn, Fire and Rising, Dictor, Graysons of Grimoire, Eloy's Discovery, The Cull, The Bearer of Secrets, The Skymaster, Possession Obsession, Melodies of a Tattered Shadow, The Last Poem, The Path of Flames, Galaxy's Edge, Edge of the Flame, Abri la Puerta, Renegade, Heroically Challenged, Black Bottle Man, Tears and Laughters, The Impossible Man, Fate's Pawn, Pandemic, When the Sky Goes Dark, By Sea and Sky, Bobby Robot, Dead Heading, Space Between Us, Well of Bones, Camelot, New York, The Once and Future King, Zerosum, Warriors and Wizards and the Salesman, Spirit Sword, Daydreams on the Sherbet Shore, Only Human, Magic Really Sucks, Post-Apocalyptic Paradise, Chloe Rose and the Enchanted Maze, Exodus, God of the Slaves, Legends, Son of Zeus, Legends, Arephori, Raymer's End, Legends Legacy, The Pillar, Blood Rising, The Dragon's Pain, Ages of Enchantment, Blood Taken, Academy Bloodstone, Crimson Mines, The Blacksmith's Son, The Line of Ilandel, The Archmage Unbound, The Sultan's Daughter, Forestill, Feathers of Phoenix Flame, Emblem Unity, Checkpoint, Indigo, Rebirth, Unreal. And there you go. Those are all of the books on my TBR that have been sent to me that I have not read yet, that I hope to get to at some point before I die. There are other books that I will read that I do not own. So it's not even my entire TBR, just my physical one. I never thought I would be the type of person that has more than 50 books on my physical TBR, but oh my goodness, have I surpassed that. Anyway, be sure to chat with me more about this stuff in the comments, books that you've loved, that you think that I should be prioritizing, books that you saw that were in the wrong category, books that you're going to pick up now because you saw a whole bunch of books in a certain category and you looked them up. I post videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.